Hello everyone, I'm Bailey Martin and welcome to Praxis magazine. The recent Russian invasion of Ukraine has left many families scared and worried for their future, leaning on each other for support. But what about those who don't have family to lean on? I sat down with Father Jason Sharon as he recalled his travels to Ukraine to save 22 Ukrainian orphans and how this changed their lives, as well as his, forever.
And he doesn't ask of us to do extraordinary things, but simply to do ordinary things and to respond with the ordinary opportunities that present ourselves with a yes or a no.
What began as an ordinary promise to an 8-year-old Ukrainian girl led to an extraordinary action of nearly a dozen Ukrainian orphans being rescued across dangerous battlefields to safety by two of Pittsburgh's very own.
So I just said to her, I said, look, no matter where you are in the world, I said, if anything ever goes wrong, I'm going to come get you. I'll be there. And that's how this started.
This promise was made to 8-year-old Karina, a Ukrainian orphan whom Alan and his wife Anita were hosting at their home in Pittsburgh this past Christmas. Although adoption was a foreseeable outcome for their family, a Russian invasion of Karina's home country was not.
But when the kids called me at 11:30 at night, the night these bombs started going off, and Karina kept running to the window and yelling, bomb, bomb, bomb.
Not to mention the language barrier they face.
I had to try to Google Translate, like, honey, it's gonna be okay, just get away from the window, and everything will be fine, you'll be safe.
Father Jason Sharon of Holy Trinity Catholic Church in Carnegie and Alan Sherwood spoke at Brother Andre's Cafe, sharing their recent trip to Ukraine, amidst an invasion Father Jason compares to the tragedies of World War II. He detailed the horrors he witnessed firsthand.
This is an unjust war, and there is no reason for Mr. Putin to be doing this. But as deep as this hole is that he's dug, part of me wants to thank him in an absurd kind of way, because he has brought a divided world together like no one else could. Is that people who haven't spoken for a while, COVID has just reset the whole board, and people haven't talked in a while. People in their own families all of a sudden don't talk to each other, but all of a sudden this comes upon us, and what has happened is the extraordinary thing amidst the ordinariness of war.
Karina, and others just like her, are used to hearing broken promises from adults. But Alan and Father Jason kept their word and made the daring rescue.
She came up and she was hugging me, and I used Google Translate and said, do you remember the time when I told you at Christmas I'd always be there for you? And she shook her head yes and just gave me a big hug and a kiss.
The Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra play the Ukrainian national anthem and watch the blue and yellow flags wave here in the city. Father Jason encourages Pittsburghers to get in touch with local representatives, as well as donate to the Ukrainian Culture of Humanitarian Institute. With a focus on holistic wellness and the ethics of integrative care, Duquesne University's proposed College of Osteopathic Medicine will embrace the university's long tradition of serving the mind, body, and spirit. President Gormley and other founders broke the ground of the new state-of-the-art medical school in celebration of the start of the build. President Gormley also tells us that students will benefit from unique interdisciplinary opportunities, expert faculty, and a community-focused approach to medicine. Whether it was golden shovels meeting the ground, or hands joining in applause. March 1st was a day of coming together for the Duquesne University community. This blank slate of opportunity behind me will not stay blank for long. Today we heard from President Ken Gormley as he's breaking barriers and grounds at the groundbreaking ceremony at the future site of Duquesne University's College of Osteopathic Medicine.
Today, the word groundbreaking here at this site means far more than literally breaking ground. It means digging in and working together to build a better world by directly addressing the needs right here in our region.
Serving God by serving students.
May what we build here be not only for our good, but for the good of all of our community.
And doing so through service to the church, the community, and the world. This is Duquesne University's mission. The proposed College of Osteopathic Medicine here at Duquesne is to be among the most forward-thinking medical schools in the nation, but at its heart, will remain true to what the rest of campus was built upon.
We plan to produce doctors who will go back into our own communities and serve the citizens here. And this is something that Duquesne has focused on since its founding in the 1800s. And nothing is more vital at this point than having basic health care for all, including in underserved urban and rural communities.
The $151 million project will take nearly 2 years to complete. President Gormley plans to welcome the first class in 2024, telling us it will be a college of medicine among the most forward-thinking in the nation. Students graduating from the School of Osteopathic Medicine will help combat two major issues in the medical industry: the shortage in primary care physicians and a widespread difference in health care based on racial and socioeconomic backgrounds, especially in underserved communities. Dr. John Kaufman, the dean of the medical school, emphasized the benefits for students and faculty of having Pittsburgh as the backdrop for this new venture.
The impact is huge because we are going to invite students from all over the region to come here, live here for the first 2 years of their medical education, and then head out into the communities.
The medical college will be housed in an 81,600 square foot building, which will be located in the heart of the Uptown Eco Innovation District across from the newly redesigned UPMC Cooper Fieldhouse. It will see its first 85 students in 2024. Another addition to campus celebrated its grand opening, the Union Broadcast Center, the newest incorporation to Duquesne's Center for Emerging and Innovative Media. Students, faculty, and staff were welcome to take a look at the new space while enjoying Chick-fil-A sandwiches. Director Don Ma introduced interviews with President Gormley and a Duquesne alum, guest of honor. Mary Liz Flavin has the story.
Latest offerings from our just great student media organizations like the television studio, the radio studio, and so on.
On March 22nd, history was made as the grand opening of the Union Broadcast Center took place. President Ken Gormley and guest host Abby Krisner from 105.9 The X spoke briefly at the beginning about the opportunities that the center presents to students.
We're going to be proud of the amazing stories that our students now have as they create and broadcast from right here in the heart of our beautiful Duquesne University campus.
The center is divided into two parts: the back room, which houses technology such as the TriCaster soundboard and several monitors that allow students working to see what the cameras are picking up in the main studio. And of course, the main studio, which contains the desk, cameras, lighting, and so much more. By enabling the green screen, guests and hosts can be anywhere they like, from a psychedelic dreamscape to a simple Duquesne University background. Abby Krisner, Duquesne graduate and current iHeartRadio host, took a moment to speak to students about her experiences.
Beautiful.
Or script, and keep your eyes on the camera. That's what it says.
At the desk, students can participate in news segments where they read from the teleprompt, just like the professionals. That's a wrap on the Union Broadcast Center. All students are welcome and encouraged to stop by to create projects, bring new ideas to life, and to make things the world has yet to see. It's as easy as lights, camera, action. For Praxis Magazine, this is Mary Liz Flavin.
Representatives from sports marketing, journalism, WDSR, and DSTV were available to speak with students about programs that utilize resources of all campus studios. If you are interested in learning more, you can reach out to any of these departments for more information on how to get involved. Right now, we want to check in on the weather with Marie Sullivan, who has your 5-day forecast. Marie?
Thanks, Bailey. Today it's going to be slightly warm with 66-degree temperatures. and rainy conditions with 21 miles per hour of wind on the bluff. Tonight we cool down with overcast conditions and 39-degree weather, with our winds staying about the same at 20 miles per hour. Make sure to step outside on Thursday, as it'll be mostly sunny with 62-degree weather, but don't get too excited because it's raining again on Friday with 63-degree weather. Saturday, it'll be a little bit of sun, but some clouds with 66 degrees weather. And Sunday, it'll stay warm with a high of 65 and cloudy conditions. Our friends in Rome are enjoying a little sun with 62-degree temperatures. Those in Dublin are less lucky with a 53-degree day and cloudy conditions. Those in Rome would say that we are having a 17 degrees Celsius day, and those in Dublin would say that we're having a 12 degrees Celsius day. Back to you, Bailey.
Thank you, Marie. Speaking of changes happening on campus, after nearly 2 years of COVID-19 regulations and mask requirements, Monday, March 21st brought faces to light as the mask mandate was lifted at Duquesne. In a release sent to students and faculty on March 17th, President Ken Gormley said that the university will no longer require masks to be worn in indoor settings for the first time since COVID began sweeping across the nation over 2 years ago. This is all possible because COVID-19 transmission levels are low, both on campus and in the region as a whole, and because of efforts in cooperation with the protocols set forth for the duration of the pandemic. From weekly testing to vaccination clinics, Duquesne has come a long way since isolation began in March 2020. We sat down with the Dean of the Liberal Arts School, Dr. Christine Blair, to hear what this new option means for students moving forward and how Duquesne can continue on this path.
Be attuned to any changes with regard to possible new variants, if those come to exist in the U.S. and in Pennsylvania in particular, and the way in which we respond. I think one thing that we've proven, if you think about it, in March of 2020, we all pivoted to a remote learning experience, remote teaching experience, a remote academic governance experience in about a week's time. So I have no doubts if we need to return to more, stringent protocols about masking, distancing, etc., that we are able to do that. Duquesne truly rose to the challenge, and as the Dean of the Liberal Arts College, I was honored to be part of that process.
Although education has looked a little different these past few years, students in Dr. Rachel Whitman's American Sign Language course learned that other barriers besides masks remain present in some students' daily lives, specifically communication. And these students are taking the initiative to make a change on campus. Praxis magazine reporter Caitlin Sims has more.
Going to college is a challenge that about 70% of kids 18 to 20 commit to. From the workload to the new environment, college is a difficult but necessary experience. However, it is even harder for students with hearing impairments. But one professor at the McGulty School of Liberal Arts is changing that, one sign at a time.
So I think when we talk about disability, it's really common for people to think about what someone can't do. So if you have somebody who uses a wheelchair and they're trying to get to the second floor of a building and there are only stairs there, right? They're not going to be able to get to the second floor. And a lot of times people think, well, it's the flaw of the disabled person, right? This disabled person, they have to change. But this idea that we're disabled by society is really reflecting on the fact that if we made things more accessible and people had more access, they would be able to navigate the world.
Dr. Rachel Whitman has been teaching her college students American Sign Language along with the course material since she finished her doctorate and has been met with students who are enthusiastic to expand their sign language knowledge.
What I enjoy most about this class is I feel like a lot of the classes I take here have implications for the real world, but the language they use is very academic, and this class uses a bit more everyday language, which actually talks about things that are really happening in the world today.
I really notice a lot of the boundaries that we've set and a lot of the obstacles that we've made within our community and within society that make it really hard for individuals with disability to get around every day.
Dr. Whitman believes that teaching more students ASL is a little step every professor should take, regardless of the subject they teach, to be more inclusive within their teaching.
I do believe at the college level, I think more universities are going to start offering more diverse language options to learn. And a lot of colleges have begun to offer ASL classes. We can have fun with it. We can include people a lot more readily. And so I think even if it's a chemistry class, people who are deaf take chemistry classes. We can definitely incorporate this, I think, pretty easily into other environments.
Dr. Whitman has taken the first step in this fight for equity, but it is up to us to continue to bring visibility to the discrimination that people with inabilities face on the daily. I am Caitlin Sims, and this is Praxis Magazine.
Dr. Rachel Whitman is always offering her ASL course to help break the barrier and reduce discrimination at Duquesne University. That's it for this edition of Praxis Magazine. I'm Bailey Martin. Thanks for watching and have a great day.